Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about it could be a twin flame reading. We've got the past life lovers card, and we also have broken promises. So it looks like we're dealing with a situation where you have felt instant chemistry with somebody or an inexplicable connection, something that differed from all the other situations you'd been in. And maybe you even wondered why you were willing to look the other way on certain behaviors or situations for this person and why you approached it differently. But let's call on spirit with a little bit of Winchanta. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Carl. Hello, Holy Yoga. Hello, Rainbow Warrior. I hope you have a fun weekend ahead. If you would like a personal reading to make it an even better weekend, you can email me at wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And it's in the description box below, right by where you can also find my memberships if you want to join. Hello there, Corey. What's going on? Let's see. We're going to start with the Marigold Tarot. What else do we have? Temperance in the reverse, Six of Swords, and the World. I think I'm reading for somebody who has already had some time to breathe fresh air, let things kind of settle down, or work on building a new chapter. The World is about an ending, but also a beginning, right? And I'm very focused on the two swords at the top of the Six of Swords. So I do feel like for many of you, it's been approximately 2 months. Maybe for some of you, it's 2 weeks. But I think you've come to accept that if this person isn't going to follow through on what they promised, or if they can't be that reliable partner that you're looking for, then at some point you're going to have to move on to greener pastures or let go of this situation because you can't be the only person that tries, right? And this person's worried about that. They do feel you're pulling away, and that's not something that they can easily deal with. Three of Cups, Strength, and the Three of Wands. They know that you're strong. They know that you're not like other people. So there's something that has happened in the past between the two of you, maybe even more than once, where you shocked them. You didn't react the way other people do, or you were more courageous or more capable than other people. So I guess they expect to be surprised by you in some way. But the nervous energy is kind of taking over for them, and they're wondering if they should actually do something or just kind of accept that you're probably falling in love with somebody else or looking to start dating, because they feel you pivoting, looking a different direction. Hello, Selena. Hello, dude. How's it going? What else do we have? We've got the Ace of Rings and the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Rings or the Nine of Pentacles with the Three of Swords in the reverse. So a lot of threes already. We've had the Three of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Look, the Ace of Pentacles is a positive energy. This is saying you appreciate that whatever is meant for you will be for you. And if this is not it, you don't want to miss out on whatever it is that is meant for you. And I think you realize the person you've been patient for, or the person you've been hoping was going to get their things together, maybe they're stuck. And it's not something that you can change for them. So I see a decision for somebody to take a trip on their own. If you're not packed and ready to go by the time the flight takes off, then I guess I'm going without you. Now, I don't know if that's how I'd act in real life, but like, this is somebody who's saying, like, I've been working my butt off to be able to go on this vacation, and you slept in through your alarm. I'm not going to like not go because you can't go. We've got the Star. I was going to say, I bet we see the Empress, another 3. The Empress is in the reverse. So here's the thing. You've been waiting on this person to deal with that divine feminine part of their energy, their ability to connect with you on an emotional level that is mature instead of chaotic, but they've not been able to heal that. You've dealt with many of the things that have held you back in terms of love. You're ready for something that is, healthy, loving, genuine. But if they can't offer that to you, do they expect you to just wait forever? You have to decide how long you're willing to do that. And some of you have decided, I think we're done. Hello, Hope. How are you doing? All right, let's get a few from What's the News. What else do we have? I'm going to try something. I don't think it lets. I've heard rumors I can give away a membership, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. So if you guys see me do that, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm so glad to hear that, Hope. We've got the cleanse, detox, ridding negativity, purification, and laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. That's quite the powerful combination. And I do feel this is your energy. Yes, things have been difficult. Yes, I got kind of pulled into like a whirlpool there and I couldn't really free myself. But the important thing is now I'm focused on the things that make me happy. Now I know that my joy or my happiness is not wrapped up in that one person. I do think that you've taken healing seriously, and it's showing based on how things are going for you in your life. Chained, codependency, unhealthy attachment, and weighed down. This is how that person made you feel because you were always hoping for the best, maybe often disappointed. This person may have had flashes of clarity and they would communicate in a way that made you feel hopeful. They may have been able to share some vulnerable things about themselves, but when it came to addressing what prevents them from loving you in a consistent or healthy way, that's where I think they kind of fell down or fell short. Yeah. So you've been patient, right? We've got the time card here and fed up. I've given you months, I've given you years, I've given you however long, but I can't do it anymore. This is someone saying, I tried, but you keep breaking those promises or you keep asking for more time. Sorry. I'm late for a very important date. This is the Black Tarot. Hello, Stephen. That seems like a good reward. What else? We have the World, the 3 of Wands in the reverse, another 3, and we've already gotten the World out as well. And the 5 of Spheres or the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. See, the thing is, there's a really beautiful chapter of your life that is meant to start. And if this person was going to show up on time and show up like the way they're supposed to, they could have enjoyed that with you. But you're not supposed to miss out on this beautiful chapter of your life just because this person isn't ready. That's why this change is already happening. I do feel like many of you have already started to see things shifting towards your new situation, and you may be a little bit unprepared for some of it. You may feel like, oh, I didn't know I was going to do that, or I didn't know things were going to go that way, or I didn't expect to fall in love with that person. But embrace the new, embrace things maybe deviating a bit from your plan. I do feel like I'm reading for somebody who is methodical. So you might have had a very clear plan, and it's okay when those plans change, right? Hello, Jim. How's it going? Thank you, dude. We've got the High Priestess, 8 of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. So I applaud you because you have in the past been brave enough to accept that maybe you were enabling somebody to keep you stuck. Maybe you were holding space for somebody with hopes that were a little bit inflated or unrealistic. I think it's been a difficult conversation with yourself, but I think you have admitted, I don't feel good about things in general when I am waiting for this person, when I am hoping that they're going to do right by me. So if I prioritize my mental health and my own happiness, I have to make a decision that reflects that this is my priority. I want a 10 of Cups. And if you're not ready, then I go elsewhere. I go find another burrito. What else do we have? Sorry, that's because I refer to people who are unhealed as a half-cooked burrito, because I don't know if you've ever been burned. Well, maybe it's the opposite of burned. If you've ever gotten one of those like giant burritos from, you know, a real reputable gas station. You follow the directions, you know, mostly. And then you pull it out of the microwave, you go to eat it, and you're like, because like the outside or like the end is hot, or maybe even too hot. It's like the middle of it still frozen. It's not a good meal, right? This person's a half-cooked burrito. Sorry. They still need more time. We have all been a half-cooked burrito at some point. In fact, we've all been frozen burritos at some point, right? Good luck, dude. I like that, Jamie. All right, so we've got the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. The problem here, I think, in this connection has been somebody is a little bit terrified of falling in love with you and what that means. I think there's some insecurity, some concerns that when you actually know who they truly are, that you would not be as infatuated or you would not be as interested. And this made them play games with you. This made them stay at, you know, an arm's length or try to create a different version of who they are. They certainly were not investing in the healing element as much as they should have. And I do think that they kept secrets from you. This person's hot and cold. You can't rely on them. They might tell you one thing and it sounds like they're absolutely convinced that that is the truth. And then the next day they believe the opposite. They might make plans with you and back out more often than they actually stick with them, right? Or they might be the type to never want to make plans. Hello, Co-Create. How's it going? I'm a burrito. That's funny. What else do we have? Temperance and the King of Wands in the reverse. Well, I do feel like we've got somebody who's mad that you figured out the law of attraction, or mad that you have figured out that they're not the one for you or that you deserve better. They were relying upon your being stuck or holding place for them or believing that at some point, someday, they're going to do right by you. But I think you either had like a timeline in your mind, or there was a friend that told you you needed to like switch it up a little bit. So maybe you decided to give this person a year. Maybe you decided to give this person 6 months. Maybe it was longer than that. But I do feel like we've gotten to the point where this is an expired deadline, right? Sorry, you had your chance. See, but I think a lot of times people in this situation create things to be mad at you about so they can justify that distance, right? I don't really want you to know everything about me, or I want to be able to feel like I can come through and access your energy whenever it's convenient for me. So I come up with these ways to like make sure you don't feel like you can approach me all the time, right? TikTok in the reverse. Time has already run out. Ding, ding, ding. Or Sorry. Roller coaster, highest high, adrenaline rush, and crushed, sad, broken, feeling alone. Oh, I don't really like. Okay. Some of you are going to feel an interesting mix of emotions over the next, I would say, 4 weeks. You are going to feel your own emotions, and you are also going to feel some of this person's emotions. I want you to do what you can to visualize creating a shield around you so that the emotions you feel most strongly are your own, not that of the other person, because you are picking up on their emotions. But you are going to have, even if it is just your own emotions, a bit of an up and down here where you're feeling really excited about the new things that are happening, really open-minded about the people that you're meeting, and then maybe the next day feeling really sad because you didn't get to have that with this person from your past. I challenge you to feel all the feelings, but I also challenge you to be fair to yourself and not feel guilty over giving a fair amount of time to somebody to do right by you. If they're not going to do right by you, all right. I mean, it may not seem fair, but if I leave the frozen pizza in the oven too long, it's going to be burnt and then I can't eat it. Apparently, I'm still hungry. It's always food analogies with me. This person might be mad at you. You might feel that anger. You might feel guilty for how things have gone because this person hasn't had enough of you. But they also, it's like they viewed you as a prescription. I can only have you in small, manageable, bite-sized tortilla chips. I can't have like the whole, see you for a week at a time and then have like a day off. No. Like I need to have small little doses of your energy. That doesn't really work. This is because they had a negative outlook or mindset where it concerns love. They didn't expect you to do right by them, or they expected you to at some point reject them. Good for you, co-create. Hello, upper echelon. How you doing? Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm still going to try and see if I can give somebody a membership. I don't know where it would let me. I'm going to figure this out. Oh, wait, is it down here? Nope. All right. I'm going to have to watch like a YouTube video or something. Oh, I should ask Johnny. Carl, that's funny. So we've got magnetic in the reverse. Something about this person drew you back. Something between the two of you, really, because they feel that they can't really lose the memories. They can't forget you. They can't get excited about somebody else the way they get excited about you. But I do feel like you're losing part of what made it seem like this was your person. I think you are either falling out of love or you're just getting to that point where you have that acceptance that maybe there's something else out there that you're meant to encounter, or someone else. This is the Egyptian Tarot. What else? Two of Wands in the reverse. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. And 6 of Cups in the reverse. This person has been dealing with repeating behaviors or codependency, possibly addiction. There's a karmic lifestyle that they are unable to lead. They might have been able to successfully go through like rehab or move somewhere else and things were different, but I feel like there's something here that keeps pulling them back in, behavior, a group of people or something. And this is something that they feel they'll never really truly get over. They feel like it's always going to be this. So it could be depression, but it to them is a reason why you would never maybe stay with them. So I think part of the hiding from you or limiting the time that you get to spend with them is because they feel if you knew everything, you wouldn't really like them. 10 of Swords in the reverse and the Hanged Man in the reverse. So they hid from you, or they limited time, right? Tried to present a facade, something that they felt that you would like about them. But the truth is, I think you see through these things, but you also noticed some attempts that this person made to control how you viewed them. And that made you a little bit, well, now I'm going to look for it, right? Now I'm going to see if you're trying to make me feel a certain way. So we have the King of Wands, Seven of Swords in the reverse, and the Lovers in the reverse. You are the King of Wands, regardless of your gender. This is about somebody who's setting out and pursuing what they want, even if it requires a little bit of discomfort. You're bold. Seven of Swords in the reverse and the Lovers in the reverse. The other thing is, I do feel like you're getting quite comfortable with rejecting people, or with being very selective, right? You know now not to get caught up in connections that are toxic, not to fall for people just because they're physically attractive. You've got to have something of substance. So your approach this time around is very different. Some of you are reading a book about dating or self-care, self-esteem. There's another one you're supposed to be reading as well. So don't give up. There's another, like, this is a good book for you to read, but there's another one. We've got the Two of Swords being in the reverse because you've decided that even if this person comes back around, there doesn't seem to be a lot of hope for that to move. So I think this is pretty final for you. They may be right that you've actually decided to call it quits on this because it's been too much time. This is the Love Oracle. Hello, Clifford. How are you doing? Hello, Daniel. Hello, Lamb Alliance. How are you doing? I hope that changes for you. We've got sorrow, loss, grief, and depression. Finality. The thing is, this person is definitely reeling from this realization. They know that if you really have decided to move on, they're not going to be able to change your mind. I don't know if they think you're stubborn, or if they just feel like when you make a decision, that's it. But they do feel like if you've decided that it's time for something different, that's just how it is. Stress, turbulence, tension, arguments, and escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. So anytime it got a little bit difficult, anytime it felt like, you were just going to argue, or you were going to judge them, or maybe they were even unfair about it and expected you to argue when you really weren't. That's why we have somebody who ran away. They can't handle the conflict, or they can't handle the idea that you would reject them. Influences. They might have had friends or family members that encouraged them to approach this relationship in a toxic way. We have another reference to time, waiting, cycles, moments, only you, devoted, attached, crave, and divine masculine. So like I said earlier, I think you've already set aside a lot of time, weeks, months, maybe even for some of you years, where you really did want this person to be the person that you ended up with. But if they weren't able to leverage and create a balance between that divine feminine and divine masculine energy, be able to, give and receive love, then this idea of holding space for them or feeling like they were the only person for you, it started to evaporate. Apology, forgiveness, return, sorry, and shallow, empty, hollow, boredom. I do think that either you've recently gotten an apology and it failed miserably to address the problem, or you're about to get an apology. I don't think this person knows how to appropriately apologize to you because they don't believe in changing the behavior after the apology. So for you, it's like, oh, thanks. Throw them on the pile over there with the other apologies that made a huge difference in our connection. Like, I don't think you're really interested in an apology from them. You want change in behavior. You want promises being kept, right? That's not something you can just achieve with words. This is the Edgar Allan Poe. What else? Queen of Swords, Eight of Cups in the reverse, Five of Swords in the reverse, and the Fool. Some of you, you're feeling more confident or comfortable moving forward in a new chapter of your life because this person came back around and proved once and for all that you really do need to move on. Or you did get an apology that felt enough like closure for you to be able to let go. With the Five of Swords in the reverse, there's something here about this person's influence or impact. It's changed. They don't have that same ability to draw upon your energy or influence your mood. And that's because you're cutting the cord or you're actually releasing this person. And you might be able to feel that. You might feel like things are weird. The Hermit, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I think you've had time enough on your own to understand the reality of this connection in a way that maybe you didn't really want to do before. But there's something that's changed in your environment that makes this truth more readily apparent to you, or something that makes you feel like now is the right time to consider other options that are available to you. There are other people that are interested in you, or there will be soon. And I think you're starting to understand that these are things that you want to be able to explore if you don't have anything with this person, or if you can't rely on this person to address the issues. Five of Wands, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. They're definitely concerned that they have competition. And Seven of Wands, that time is up. Rejection is protection. I think this is not working out because this person hasn't done right by their healing and would not, therefore, they would not be able to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So they view it as a loss, but to be honest, for you, it's a gain because you have this opportunity to meet somebody who wants to do right by you. High Priestess in the reverse, and the Moon. I'm going to tell you this though, for many of you, this person from your past is trying to send you negative energy or trying to send a love spell your way. It's another reason to try to shield yourself from this person's energy, because I do feel like they're very possessive of you. The idea of you being with somebody else, it's like they clench their fists or like they get all like pacey and they don't like it. All right, this is the Golden Girls Tarot. Hello, Larry. How are you doing? Hello, who that? How's your day? Another Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. King of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. So the thing is, it's a loss for this person who can't claim you as their own anymore. I do feel like you're this King of Pentacles. Doesn't have to line up with your gender, but you've been able to create stability for yourself. And that energy is drawing in other people that have this King or perhaps Queen of Pentacles energy. So this Nine of Cups is saying you are very close to getting what it is that you want out of a relationship if you can admit that if it's not with this person from your past, you could actually still be happy. And I think you could. Yeah, Temperance in the reverse, because you've accepted this person from your past can't love you the way that you want to be loved, or they're not there in terms of their healing. And that's okay. You can wish them well, right? Eight of Swords, King of Wands. They're stuck in the past, but there's somebody else here who's very interested in you. And I feel like this is somebody who has done their healing. We've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. Some of you are going to be very surprised to hear who's got a crush on you. or you're going to be surprised that if you reveal you have a crush on somebody, that it is returned. We've got the Fool in the reverse. I do think that somebody might get a tarot reading on you or find some way, perhaps social media, to figure out if you are seeing other people. And this is going to make them feel very foolish. Temperance in the reverse is clarified by the Fool in the reverse. They didn't want you to move on because they figured if you did, you'd realize that waiting for them is probably not the right move. So, hello, Miss Princess. How are you doing? Did I say hello to James? Hello, James. All right, I've got to cut it short so that I can get on in 15 minutes. We've got the members only reading for the stars and the towers tiers. But I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I'll be back later as well. Toodles.